Is it just a misunderstanding, or the quiet beginning of emotional distance? New revelations about Jungkook and Taehyung are surfacing, and fans are starting to notice subtle changes that can no longer be ignored. What really happened between them? Did something break between Jungkook and Taehyung? Or are we witnessing the silent evolution of two young men growing up under the weight of global fame? Before you scroll away, ask yourself this: have you noticed it too? The fleeting glances, the pauses that last a second too long, the smiles that don't quite reach the eyes. Armies around the world are beginning to connect the dots, and what they are discovering feels both heartbreaking and inevitable. Stay with us, because what you're about to read may change the way you see their recent moments forever. And if you feel the shift too, don't stay silent. Share your thoughts, leave a comment, and let your voice join the conversation. For years, Jungkook and Taehyung have embodied one of the most cherished bonds in modern pop culture. Their chemistry felt effortless, their laughter spontaneous, their friendship unshakable. Fans didn't just see two bandmates, they saw a connection that felt genuine, raw, and deeply rooted in shared dreams and shared struggles. From trainee days filled with uncertainty to sold-out stadiums shaking with chants of their names, they stood side by side. So what changed? Recent appearances have sparked whispers across fan communities. Nothing dramatic. No public arguments. No official statements. Instead, it's the subtlety that unsettles people. During live broadcasts, their interactions appear measured rather than instinctive. At events, the once playful teasing seems replaced by polite exchanges. In group settings, they still function professionally, but the spark, at least to some observers, feels different. Is this simply maturity reshaping how they express affection? Or is there a deeper story hidden beneath the surface? Some fans argue that what we are seeing is growth. Jungkook, once the wide-eyed youngest member, now carries himself with a quiet confidence. His solo ventures, interviews, and performances reveal an artist stepping fully into his identity. Taehyung, with his introspective aura and evolving artistry, seems more contemplative than ever. Growth changes dynamics. It alters rhythms. Friendships that once thrived on constant physical closeness may evolve into something less visible, but equally strong. Could this be a natural transition rather than a fracture? Yet others feel an emotional undercurrent that is harder to dismiss. There have been moments, brief but telling, where eye contact seems avoided, where laughter fades quickly, where the energy feels restrained. Fans who have followed every interview, every behind-the-scenes clip, insist that something subtle has shifted. They describe it not as conflict, but as distance. Not anger, but hesitation. And perhaps the most haunting question remains: when did it begin? Speculation intensified after several public schedules where their interactions appeared noticeably limited. In past years, they gravitated toward each other almost unconsciously. Recently, however, they seem to maintain space. It is not coldness. It is not hostility. It is simply different. And in a fandom built on emotional memory, different can feel monumental. But what if the narrative of misunderstanding is too simplistic? Fame changes people in ways outsiders can never fully grasp. The pressure of constant scrutiny can make even the closest relationships retreat into privacy. Perhaps what fans interpret as distance is actually protection. When every smile becomes a headline, and every glance fuels thousands of theories, silence may become the safest choice. Could they be guarding something precious from overexposure? There is also the undeniable factor of individual journeys. Jungkook's recent artistic direction radiates independence. His interviews reflect introspection about identity and ambition. Taehyung, on the other hand, has embraced a more enigmatic presence, leaning into artistry that feels deeply personal. When two people evolve at different speeds or in different directions, even the strongest bonds must adjust. Adjustment does not equal abandonment, but adjustment can feel uncomfortable to those watching from the outside. Fans have begun revisiting old footage, comparing past and present interactions frame by frame. The warmth of earlier years feels almost nostalgic now, but nostalgia can distort perception. When we romanticize the past, the present often feels lacking by comparison. Are we measuring them against memories rather than reality? There was a recent moment that particularly stirred emotions. During a public appearance, Taehyung spoke with a tone that some described as distant, while Jungkook's expression seemed unreadable. Social media erupted. Was it fatigue? Was it tension? Or was it simply two artists navigating an exhausting schedule? Context disappears quickly in the digital age, leaving fragments to be interpreted without clarity. And yet, despite all speculation, there has been no confirmation of conflict. No direct acknowledgement of misunderstanding. What exists are interpretations, emotional, passionate, sometimes protective. Fans feel connected to their journey, and any perceived change feels personal. That is the power of years spent growing alongside an audience. Perhaps the most profound possibility is that we are witnessing maturity. In youth, affection is often loud and visible. With age, it can become quieter, steadier, less performative. Jungkook and Taehyung may no longer express closeness in ways that are easily captured by cameras. Their bond, if still strong, might now exist beyond public validation. And isn't that, in some ways, a sign of depth? Still, the emotional tension lingers. Because humans are wired to sense shifts. Fans who have invested years into observing their dynamic cannot help but notice subtle recalibrations. The unanswered question becomes its own narrative. Silence invites imagination. And imagination can be both beautiful and dangerous. Could there have been a disagreement behind closed doors? Possibly. Even the closest friends argue. Especially those who share intense professional and personal environments. But disagreement does not equal destruction. Sometimes conflict is the catalyst for growth. Sometimes distance creates clarity. There is also the reality that idols are human beings, not characters in a scripted drama. They experience exhaustion, insecurity, ambition, doubt. Their relationships are shaped by private conversations the world will never hear. To assume we can fully decode their emotional landscape from curated appearances may be unrealistic. Yet fans continue watching, observing, hoping, because at the core of this discussion lies love. Love for their music, love for their journey, love for the bond that once felt so vividly displayed. Whether this phase represents misunderstanding or maturation, one truth remains undeniable. Jungkook and Taehyung have already shared a history that cannot be erased by subtle changes. Perhaps the real story is not about separation but transformation. Two young men who entered the spotlight as teenagers are now adults navigating identity in front of millions. Growth is rarely symmetrical. It is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes misinterpreted. As new moments continue to surface, fans will keep analyzing expressions, gestures, and tones. Some will find reassurance. Others will find concern. But maybe the most powerful act is patience, allowing them space to evolve without forcing a narrative upon them. So is it a misunderstanding, or simply the quiet process of growing up? The answer may not be dramatic. It may not involve betrayal or hidden conflict. It may simply be the natural rhythm of change. And sometimes, the most emotional stories are not those filled with scandal, but those marked by subtle transformation. What do you see when you watch them now? Distance or depth? Silence or strength? Share your thoughts, join the discussion, and let your perspective be heard. Because in the end, this story is not just about Jungkook and Taehyung. It is about how we, as observers, interpret the evolution of those we admire. And perhaps the most unsettling part is not what we see, but what we can no longer see. Because there was a time when their connection felt almost instinctive. A glance across the stage would turn into suppressed laughter. A playful shove would spiral into chaotic teasing that only they fully understood. It wasn't forced. It wasn't manufactured. It felt lived in, like a language developed over years of shared dorm rooms, shared fears, shared triumphs. That familiarity created comfort not just for them, but for millions watching. Now that language seems quieter, more refined, almost coded. Some fans insist the warmth is still there, only subtler. They point to brief flashes, a lingering smile, a softened gaze, the way one still instinctively listens when the other speaks. But others argue that something intangible has shifted,